Here I have a small circuit with a battery, bulb and a gap. What happens if I fill this gap with a metal? The light glows. What happens if I fill this gap with an insulator? The light stays off. What happens when I fill this gap with a silicon or germanium piece? The light stays off. You may think that silicon is an insulator. Do you know what happens when I heat the silicon piece? After receiving some heat, it lights up. Silicon conducts electricity when it is hot. So, an insulator like silicon can conduct electricity at high temperature and behaves like an insulator at room temperature. This type of materials are called semiconductors. This special ability of semiconductors helps to construct brains in electronic devices. In addition to consumer electronics, semiconductors play a central role in the operation of bank ATMs, trains, the internet, communications, etc. From glowing light to revolving satellite, all are working with the help of semiconductor. The pure form of a semiconductor is known as intrinsic semiconductor. Silicon and germanium are the examples of intrinsic semiconductor. If we add some impurity atom to intrinsic semiconductor, it will become extrinsic semiconductor. There are two types of extrinsic semiconductor: P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor. In this video, let us learn about how p-n junction works, which is formed by the combination of p-type and n-type semiconductor material. p-n junction is the basic building block of all semiconductor devices such as diodes, transistors, solar cells, LEDs and integrated circuits. To enhance their own properties of intrinsic semiconductor, we have to add impurity atom. Now the question is, what impurity should add? In periodic table, silicon is under 14th group. We can add impurity atom either elements from group 13 or from group 15. P-type semiconductor is formed when a small amount of trivalent impurity from group 13 like boron is added to pure intrinsic semiconductor. Each trivalent impurity atom fits in the germanium crystal in such a way that its 3 valence electrons are shared with 3 surrounding germanium atom and form 3 covalent bonds. In the 4th germanium atom, only the germanium atom contributes 1 valence electron, while boron atom has no valence electron. Hence, the 4th covalent bond is incomplete, having 1 electron short. This missing electron is known as a hole. The addition of trivalent impurity produces a large number of holes to the host crystals. These holes are the majority carrier in p-type semiconductor. Because of the thermal agitation, few electrons are exist in p-type semiconductor. They are the minority charge carriers in p-type. N-type semiconductor is formed when a small amount of pentavalent impurity from group 15 like phosphorus is added to an intrinsic semiconductor. Each pentavalent impurity atom fits in germanium crystal in such a way that its 4 valence electron form covalent bonds with 4 surrounding germanium atom. 5th electrons of pentavalent atom left unpaired and it is travel free in the crystal lattice and readily take part in the conduction. Pentavalent impurity donate 1 free electron for conduction in silicon, so it is called donor impurity. Since phosphorus donate 1 free electron, it will become positive ion. The addition of pentavalent impurity produces a large number of electrons in the host crystals. These electrons are the majority carriers in N-type semiconductor. Due to some thermal agitation, few holes are also exist in N-type semiconductor. So, in N-type semiconductor, there is positive donor ion, a large number of negative free electrons as majority carriers and few holes as minority carrier. p-n junction is formed when an N-type material is fused together with a p-type material, creating a semiconductor diode. When a p-n junction is formed, some of the electrons from the n region which have reached the conduction band are free to diffuse across the junction and combine with the holes. Filling a hole makes a negative ion in p side and leaves behind a positive ion on the n side. When a sufficient number of donor and acceptor ions are uncovered, further diffusion is prevented. An electric field is set up between the donor and acceptor ions in the depletion region. The potential at the n side is higher than the potential at the p side. Therefore, electrons in the n side are prevented to go to the lower potential of p side. Similarly, holes in the p side find themselves at a lower potential and are prevented to cross the n side. Thus, there is a barrier at the junction which opposes the movement of majority charge carriers. The difference of potential from the one side of the barrier to the other side is called potential barrier. Thus, a barrier is set up against further movement of the charge carrier. This is called potential barrier. Since no charge carriers can rest in a position where there is a potential barrier, the region on either side of the junction now become completely depleted of any more free charge carriers. This area around the p-n junction is now called the depletion layer. When a positive terminal of the battery is connected to p side and negative terminal to the n side, so that the potential difference acts in opposite direction to the barrier potential, then the p-n junction is said to be forward biased. When a p-n junction is forward biased, the applied positive potential repels the holes in p region and applied negative potential repels the electron in the n region. So, the charges move towards the junction. If the applied potential difference is more than the potential barrier, some of the holes and free electrons enter into the depletion region. Hence, the potential barrier as well as the width of the depletion region are reduced. The positive donor ions and negative acceptor ions within the depletion region regains electrons and holes respectively. As a result of this, the depletion region disappears and the potential barrier also disappears. Hence, under the action of forward potential difference, the majority charge carriers flow across the junction in opposite direction and constitute current flow in the forward direction. When the positive terminal of the battery is connected to n side and negative terminal to the p side, so that the applied potential difference is in the same direction as that of the barrier potential. Now the junction is said to be reverse biased. When the p-n junction is reverse biased, the electrons in the n region and holes in the p region attracted away from the junction. Because of this, number of negative ions in the p region and positive ions in the n region increases. Hence, the depletion region becomes wider and the potential barrier is increased. Since depletion region does not contain majority carriers, it acts like an insulator. Therefore, no current should flow in the external circuit. But in practice, a very small current of the order of few microamperes flows in the reverse direction. This is due to the minority carriers flowing in the opposite direction. This reverse current is small because the number of minority carriers in both regions are very small. So, p-n junction conducts current in the forward bias and acts like an insulator in the reverse bias. When a diode is connected in a forward bias condition, and if an external voltage becomes greater than the value of the potential barrier, approximately 0.7 volt for silicon and 0.3 volt for germanium, the potential barrier will overcome and current will start to flow. When a diode is connected in a reverse bias condition, high resistance exists across the p-n junction and practically zero current flows through the junction diode with an increase in bias voltage. A small current in the order of microampere flows through the junction because of the minority carrier. Thus, p-n junction behaves like a conductor during forward bias and behaves like an insulator during reverse bias.